So, what is the role of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in Vedic teachings, and especially in the sect of Vaishnavism or Vaishnava traditions? That's a question. It's written sect, but generally it's not a good word to use sect, since it's a tradition and it's not an independent or individual sect, but all these different traditions of Vaishnavism, Shaivism, etc. They comes under the large umbrella of Vedic Sanatana Dharma. So, what is Bhagavad Gita's role, or the why Bhagavad Gita is so much celebrated? The Bhagavad Gita is foundational scriptures in Vedic Sanatan Dharma in this culture, because any purport or commentary in Vedanta is completed once there is commentary in Prasthanatrayi. So among Prasthanatrayi, one is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and it's called Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana. That all Upanishad and all the Vedic literatures are compared with the cows, and Gita Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana Parthavasya Sudhir Bhokta, that it was the calf of that cow was Arjun and was milked by Krishna himself. So Gitamritam, and this Gita is that nectar or the essence of that cow. So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita provides essential teaching on the nature of self, the universe, and the supreme personality of Godhead. And Vedic Sanatan, the follower of Vedic Sanatan Dharma, particularly focus on the Gita's emphasis on Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So, where Bhagavan Krishna advocates about different lineages, and especially in this lineage of Vaishnavism, and more than that in the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Gita's emphasize in Bhakti Yoga, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna advocates for devotion as the highest path to spiritual realization. It serves as a guiding principle or guide for living a life centered on the devotion and surrender to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita is foundational scripture of Vedic Sanatana Dharma. It offers profound insight into the nature of self first, and then the nature of universe, and the nature of supreme or the creator. The sacred text is revered not only for its philosophical depth, but also for the practical guidance on living life centered on the devotion and surrender to that supreme authority. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita, first it talks about the nature of self or the Atma. The Bhagavad Gita actually describes the eternal nature of soul or the Atma, distinct from the temporary body in Bhagavad Gita. As in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Najayatam Rite Vakadachin Nayam Bhutva Bhavitavana Azo Nityam Shashwata Yam Purano Nahanyati Hanyamani Sarire. And furthermore it says, Vasam Sijirnani Yathaviyaya Navani Grinati Naroparani. So there are different slokas, especially in second chapter, where Sri Krishna, through the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, emphasize the nature of soul and the body. So body is temporary, a shashwat, and soul it's permanent, or it's the nature of soul is distinct from this temporary. It's a part and parcel of supreme. So it is as we say, Najayatam Rideva Kadachim, the soul never born, nor does it die anytime, nor having once existed does it ever cease to be. So the soul is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and it cannot be slain when body is being slain. Basically, is the point here. So first thing, it established the nature of self or the Atma, and then it describes the Paramatma or the master of everything, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he declares his supreme position in the universe, emphasizing his role as the ultimate reality and object of worship. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Bhatta Sarvam Pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bodha bhava samanvita. That I am aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who knows this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So, and third, it first it established the nature of self or the Atma. Second, it established the supremacy of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Third, it talks about that Atma or the self, how it can attain the eternal position or the eternal service or eternal friendship or the eternity with that supreme self, Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That is Bhakti Yoga. The Gita emphasizes Bhakti Yoga on the path of devotion as the highest and most effective means to attain spiritual realization. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Ananyas chintayantu mam yejana paripasate tesam nityabhyuktanam yoga chemam bhahamim. Those who are constantly devoted on serving me with love, I give them the understanding. It's dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantiti. I give them the understanding by that which they can come to me. And like those type of bhakta, those who are anantaschinta yantumam, those who are completely surrendered to me and those who are always thinking about me, I protect them. Yoga chemam bahami. So in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says furthermore that, but for that, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. The easiest way to attain me is sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mehesucha. It says, abandon all variety of religious practices and activities. Just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all the sinful reactions. Do not fear. So that you don't need to fear for anything. So first explains about the nature of self and the nature of supreme and how we can be established in the yoga or how we can reconnect and reestablish that eternal relationship with supreme is bhakti yoga. So application of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is first centrality of Sri Krishna, or especially in tradition of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Krishna is the center of entire philosophy and theology, viewing him as a supreme personality of Godhead as per Vedic scriptures. So Bhagavad Gita teachings reinforce the central tenet established Krishna's supremacy position and necessity of devotion to him. And next is emphasis on Bhakti Yoga. The Gita emphasizes on Bhakti Yoga aligns perfectly with the tradition, Vaishnava tradition, especially Gaudiya Vaishnavism, focus on loving devotion to Sri Krishna. The path of bhakti is considered superior to other form of yoga such as Karma Yoga, the path of action, or Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, and it also gives the practical guidance for devotees. Bhagavad Gita offers practical advice for living a life of devotion in the middle of worldly duties, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna's guidance to Arjuna on performing his duties without attachment and dedicating the results to Krishna himself serves as a model for devotees to integrate spiritual practice with their day-to-day life. At the same time, for Gaudiya Vaishnavism, this is Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a philosophical foundation also. Not only for Gaudiya Vaishnavism, all the commentaries on Vedanta Darshan are actually based on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The concept of eternal soul, the material and spiritual worlds, and the supremacy of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and the philosophical foundation of any tradition or any disciplic succession of proper Vedic lineage. The Gita's teaching provide a comprehensive understanding of these principles, and it actually underpin the theology and practice of this tradition also. So Bhagavad Gita, we can conclude that Bhagavad Gita holds a place of paramount importance in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Its teaching on the nature of the self, the universe, and the Krishna, along with its emphasis on Bhakti Yoga, provide both philosophical and practical framework for the tradition. For Gaudiya Vaishnava, the Gita is not merely a scripture but living guidance that informs their life practice and spiritual aspiration, centering on the devotion and surrender to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.